Hi there, it is week 3 of my 75 soft challenge. If you're new to the challenge, I am drinking water, reading at least 10 pages of a book, I'm eating well, and I'm doing physical activity for 45 minutes every single day for 75 days. I've done this for 2 weeks so far, not perfectly, but I've done pretty good. And I ended last week saying I don't feel like doing this challenge. And that is because we've had snow days, I've been tired, I just want to lay around. And all of that is still true, but still I ended week 2 saying I am stronger than my mood. I am stronger than I don't feel like it. And that is why I'm doing this challenge, to build habits, build consistency, and build motivation. So I just finished up a day of work. I'm going to transition to workout time. I really haven't done much of my habits today because I've been working so hard. I have had almost a full tumbler, so I'm gonna fill this back up, do a workout, and I'm gonna try to read while on the treadmill because I've been enjoying that lately. And the book that I'm reading, White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson, is so good. It's got me hooked, so I want to keep reading it while working out. Spending a lot of time on the treadmill during this challenge, and you might be tired of seeing me on the treadmill so much during this challenge, but the thing is, my treadmill time, I have found, has been the best time to make significant progress in the book that I'm reading. And y'all, the book that I'm reading is so good. If you ever pick up White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson, we have got to talk about this. You've got to comment and let me know. It's said to be like The Haunting of Hill House meets Get Out. It's about a Black girl in high school who moves with her family from California to the Midwest for a fresh start and to take part in a special program that helps with revitalization. But they find that they're the only family in this neighborhood. They're surrounded by houses that are run down, houses that are creepy, and she's finding some creepy things within the house that she's even staying in. And there's just some layers to it, so I really want to see how this all unfolds. I'm about halfway done with this book already, and I've only been reading it for maybe 2 or 3 days. And that is because I've been spending so much time reading it on the treadmill. But for now, I'm doing my usual walk because I have got to make my way through this book, y'all, and I will check back in for dinner. If you saw week 2, you saw that I went over my meal plan for this next week, and I mentioned that ramen is one of our dinner ideas for this week. So tonight I'm gonna make some ramen, and I can go over how I'm about to go about making it more mindfully. I'm not saying ramen is inherently unhealthy, and I'm also not saying that the way that I'm about to make it is traditional in any way. I'm just saying that I do have packaged ramen at my house that I need to eat and that I want to eat because it's a snow day and it's really cold, so it just makes for a good meal for this kind of day. And I want to go about making it more mindfully because packaged stuff like this is super high in sodium. I'm gonna make 2 packages. I'm going to, instead of using the packets that come in each package, I'm just going to use the packets that come in 1 package, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna cook 2 of these, but I'm only using the packets in 1 of these. That will help cut down on the sodium. Now, before I boil the ramen, I'm going to saute a few things first. I have got garlic, ginger, I'm gonna take the whites of green onions, and I'm gonna cook that all in a little bit of sesame oil in the pot first, just to get some aromatics going and just to create like a flavor base. Then when everything is cooking, I'm gonna add some clean mushrooms, and I'm gonna add some spinach as well, just to have some veggies in the mix. And I'm going to prep some soft boiled eggs for the ramen too. So let's get into it. here are all the bowls. Here is the finished product. It's not the most beautiful presentation I've done with ramen, but it's what we've got going tonight. The soft boiled eggs turned out pretty soft, a little softer than they did last time. So this one looked okay. So I just cut it in half, left it alone. But the other one was a little too soft. So I tried to like tuck it under the heat of the broth and the noodles just so it could cook a little more in that hot liquid. But yeah, this is what we're working with tonight. A hot and cozy meal made a little more mindfully. I think today is a day where I need a good stretch workout, either some yoga or like something. And so what I'm going to do today, sometimes I go on YouTube and I try to find 45 minutes of something yoga like or stretching like, but I think what I'll do today is browse the Open app. If you're not familiar, the Open app has courses for yoga, breath work, meditation, stretching. My space heater just came on if you heard that. Stuff like that. It is a paid service, so just keep that in mind. You can do like a complimentary trial in the beginning, but I do have access to Open, so I'm gonna look for some sort of workout on there. So here's the Open app. Today I want to focus on movement, so I'm going to go to the search tab, click on move, and I'm going to go to yoga because that's what I want to focus on today. And I'll go for a power flow, something that feels like a little bit more of a workout. I'm going to look for a 45-minute one. I've already done this one. That's why I have a heart on it, because I enjoyed that one. I don't have to go for a 45-minute one. Like I can mix and match. I can, do two shorter ones together, but I'm just going to search for something that's 45 minutes on here. Like maybe this one, Dynamic Flow, and I'll give that one a try. So that's what I'll try tonight, Dynamic Flow. Update for today is that I finished this book. And this was such a fun read. I finished it before work this morning because I woke up and I just had to know how this book ended, and I'm glad that I got to the end because it was such a fun read. It was creepy, it had interesting layers, it was definitely a page turner, and that's one of the highlights of the challenge for me, is that I've been able to finish 2 books so far, and now I'm on to the next. I've mentioned this before, Recursion by Blake Crouch has been on my list, and this is my next read. I haven't started this yet. I'll let you know how I like it. I read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I really enjoyed it. I expect to enjoy this as well. I think this one is highly reviewed or highly rated, so I expect to enjoy this too, and I'll let you guys know how I like it. Okay, so let's see how well my audio works. I'm trying to record while using my AirPods this time, but basically today has been a lot of the same. Today's a Friday, so it's really easy to just want to wrap up the workday and then just chill, find something else to do, but I have not done my habits today, so I can't let this day go by without doing my habits. So that's why I'm just trying to make some time for the treadmill this evening. Okay, so any goal that you're trying to reach in your life or any lifestyle you're trying to maintain for yourself requires rest. And this has been especially apparent to me during this challenge because I have been tired. I am tired. Having to work, having to do stuff at home, having to do the things you want to do. Like for me, it's making these videos or any hobbies. All of that can tire you. And you have to factor in rest in order to keep going. And today's a Saturday, so today is a day where I could have gotten a lot of stuff done earlier in the day, but it's the evening right now. Like I didn't do my workout until the evening. I didn't read my book until this evening because I just spent so much of the day resting, and I'm not mad about it. I knew I needed it. I enjoyed it. I took my nap and I had a great time doing it because I know the importance of rest, and I always listen to my body anyway. Like if it says sleep, I will sleep. If it says to eat something, I'll eat. Like, I will listen to my body and I don't play about my rest. So if you're following along and trying to do this challenge or some other kind of challenge, remember to factor in rest, because that will help sustain you. Don't wait until you're burnt out or at a breaking point before you start taking rest seriously. You have to factor it in throughout your journey. Hey there, it's day 21. I have officially completed 3 weeks of the 75-day soft challenge. We have a lot more time to go, but real quick, I want to share some tips for staying consistent that I will take with me through week 4, week 5, and so on, and that I think can be helpful if you're also thinking about starting this challenge or you're currently on the challenge. So real quick, some tips that hit on every category of the challenge. First up is drinking water. Have a go-to water bottle to keep track of how much water you're drinking. You know, I have that 40-ounce tumbler, and that helps me, the more I fill that up throughout the day, that helps me keep track of how much water I'm drinking. I know there are some water bottles out there that have the amount of ounces or milliliters marked on the side, little tick marks. You might need something like that, but just have something that helps you keep track of how much you're drinking in a day. For the exercising 45 minutes a day, have some go-to exercises that you can pick from that make sense for how and when you exercise. I really don't think this challenge has to be about becoming something you're not. If you're someone who likes walking, prioritize that. If you're someone who likes to go out and play basketball or be in the gym playing basketball, prioritize that. This will be a lot more sustainable when you tap into the things you already enjoy. For eating well, have some sort of meal plan. And I mean meal planning your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and your snacks, the things that you will reach for outside of those dedicated meal times. In week 2, I talked about how I meal plan, so check that out if you haven't already. And lastly, for the reading aspect of the challenge, I really think it's helpful to, as you're getting close to finishing a book, already have your next book decided. And if you're anything like me and picking up a book one after the other is a bit of a challenge, like, I'm a big reader, but being super consistent with it has been something I haven't done in a couple of years. Like, I would pick up a book here and there, but I wasn't consistently doing it one after the other. So what's been helpful to me is right after I wrap up a book, immediately I'm picking up my next book and reading the first 10 pages. Even if I've already hit my 10 pages of reading mark for the day, if I have finished a book that day, I need to go ahead and pick up the next one and get started on it so that I'm getting immersed in that story. For me, it can be a little tough to start at the beginning of a new story when you've already wrapped up something that you've been so immersed in. So doing it as quickly as I can, like picking up that next book right after I finish the previous book, it really helps me stay in that immersed mindset. Like, I'm already in that reading zone. So overall, I feel like it's been a successful 3 weeks. I have a lot more time to go, but that's okay. I've got some tips and some things that I've learned that I will take with me as I complete the challenge. So we'll see how this goes. And if you're keeping up with this journey, let me know what you're finding most interesting or relevant, or what you want to see more of. Is it meal planning? Is it me actually making the meal, seeing what I'm eating throughout the day? Is it, tips, reflections, advice? You want to hear about the books that I'm reading and my thoughts on what I'm reading? Like, let me know what sticks out to you. I know my daily check-ins don't always seem very cohesive. One day I'm talking about books, the next day I'm talking about food or something, but I don't know, I kind of like it like that, and I don't want to be too repetitive, because a lot of my days really are the same. I might be doing the same exercise day after day, or I might eat the same things 2 days in a row, so just let me know. Anyway, thank you for following along, and I'll see you in week 4.